No matter what you're cooking, there's likely to be a lot of chopping involved. You can of course use your chef's knife for this, but a food chopper can save tons of time, not to mention effort. Available in both manual and electric forms, food choppers are simple to operate and relatively inexpensive. They're useful for cutting up everything from onions to apples to peanuts. They're particularly good for making salsa, and they're an ideal safer choice for someone with dexterity problems or for young kids just starting off in the kitchen. There are numerous options for cheap vegetable chopper, each with unique features, advantages, and costs. I conducted a ton of research, read a ton of reviews, and put up a list of the top affordable vegetable chopper from trustworthy manufacturers to help you make an informed choice. Following extensive investigation, I discovered that these products are quite beneficial for persons like you. If you want to know about the price and other information, be sure to check my description. So without any further delay, let's jump into the video. Number 1. Best overall Kuhn Rikon Pull Chop 2-Cup Food Chopper. Lots of manual choppers have you push down to cut food, but the pull chop uses a unique method to spin its blades. It's a little like the pull start on a lawnmower or chainsaw, only on a much smaller scale. After you load the bowl with food and seal the lid, you just pull the handle to chop. A non-skid ring on the bottom of the bowl keeps it from slipping, though you will need to use both hands at once with this model, one on the lid while the other pulls the cord. The rotating blades work much like a food processor, chopping foods more and more finely the longer you spin them. In testing, the pull chop worked much quicker than expected, whizzing through everything from onions and carrots to tomatoes and mushrooms with ease thanks to its razor-sharp blades. It sliced cleanly through bell peppers as well, when many of its competitors simply crushed or mashed them. The vertically stacked blades had a little trouble, however. When loaded with only a few garlic cloves, we found it helpful to hold the chopper at an angle to encourage small amounts of food to fall into the blades. Number 2. Best Electric Cuisinart Mini Prep Plus Food Processor. Wherever the line is between food chopper and food processor, this little appliance sits right on it. It's surprisingly multifunctional for such a small, inexpensive machine, with a chop mode that uses the sharp side of the blade and a grind mode that spins it in the other direction, letting the flat edge crush and puree. The chop and grind buttons both serve as their own pulse modes, too, since the blades only spin with the button pressed down. We tested the mini prep with onions, peppers, carrots, tomatoes, mushrooms, and garlic, and it made short work of all of them. It chopped everything cleanly, though the size of the bits were somewhat uneven, especially when we wanted to keep things in larger pieces. Grind mode was surprisingly effective, creating smooth tomato puree and even peanut butter. You could use it to emulsify salad dressings, or make fresh baby food. On top of that, the bowl, blade, and lid are all dishwasher safe for easy cleaning. And you can choose from lots of different base colors, try multiple retailers to find more options. Plus, they even throw in a tiny little spatula to scrape down the bowl mid-chop. Number 3. Best Multipurpose Manual Norpro Big Mouth Chopper. Chopping onions is one of the most grueling kitchen tasks, particularly for people who tend to get watery eyes, not to mention the annoying scent that clings to fingers. In testing, we found that this tool was particularly efficient at dicing onions. It takes one single push to turn a halved onion into a pile of neat, even dice. The Big Mouth works a little differently than the rest of the choppers on this list, pushing food through a stationary blade into a plastic container beneath. This can handle more food at a time than other manual choppers, and it makes more evenly sized pieces compared to the whirling blades of food processor-style machines. The downside is that you can only chop items into the specific sizes of the different cutting grids you have. This model includes a 1/4-inch slicer and large and small cube options, all of which are too big to get garlic or ginger down to a fine mince. We got great results with carrots in testing, and we particularly liked how well the Big Mouth's slicing blade worked with mushrooms. It was also able to slice green peppers cleanly, though it took a bit of a smack to shove all the way through the blades. It had trouble, though, with soft tomatoes, just mashing them up, and with hard nuts, just smashing them to bits rather than really chopping. Number 4. Best Splurge KitchenAid Cordless 5-Cup Food Chopper. Pretty much a full-sized food processor that's cordless, this KitchenAid machine is super convenient to move around the kitchen, grabbing ingredients from the cutting board or fridge and moving them to the stove or oven, or even outside to the grill, without having to worry about plugging it in. KitchenAid says the unit can chop 40 full onions on a single battery charge, and we didn't run out of electricity during any of our testing. This model did well with onions, nuts, tomatoes, carrots, and mushrooms. And despite its large capacity, its tall and narrow shape helped it thoroughly mince a small amount of garlic. We also used the faster of its 2 speed settings to puree tomatoes and grind peanut butter, and it did well with both. The only ingredient it had trouble with was green peppers. Like a lot of the other machines we tested, it didn't always cut through the skin cleanly and wound up crushing some of the pieces more than chopping them. There's a handy pouring spout for dispensing liquids, and a drizzle hole in the lid that's good for slowly adding liquid to emulsified sauces like hollandaise. You'll also get a separate whipping blade for whipped cream or egg whites, which stores inside the bowl when not in use. And everything except the motor base is dishwasher safe. Number 5. Best High-Volume Presto Professional Salad Shooter. Salad Shooter is a very appropriate name for this machine. You load the chamber, point the barrel into a bowl, and press the trigger to get a steady flow of slices. It works by rotating a cone-shaped blade against the food, with a large chute that can accommodate whole veggies of many kinds and a plastic pusher to keep your fingers far away from anything sharp. It can handle a never-ending flow of ingredients, as long as you have room to hold the finished slices. The ability to swap in different blades for different types of cuts makes the Salad Shooter multifunctional, and this model comes with 2 sizes of shred, a standard slicer, and a ripple slicer that makes crunchy veggies like carrots and cucumbers look super fancy. It's of course a boon for making salads, but the attachments also let you shred cheddar for a grilled cheese or potatoes for hash browns, or make perfectly even apple slices for tart tatin. On top of that, the blades and all the rest of the parts except the motor base are dishwasher safe. If anything, the Salad Shooter might be too big of a chopper for someone who's not going to use it often or with large amounts of food. It's fairly bulky and heavy and has to be plugged into the wall, not really worth breaking out just for a handful of garlic cloves or a single cucumber. It's also pretty expensive compared to some of the others on this list. That's all from my end. I make helpful videos daily, so do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification. To get more information or if you want to know product price, please check my description. For any kind of problem, please comment below to help you further. Life is short, so enjoy every bit of your life with our cool products, as it's going to make your life much easier. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.